Today's games are brought to you in part by Circus Ice Cream, wholesale club prices without the membership fee. By AA Builders, your new construction and home improvement specialists. And by the Maryland Independent, your source for local sports, news, and community information. Back to White Plains Regional Park, just set to get underway in the 85-pound final, featuring the Westlake Bulldogs against the La Plata Blue Knights. Westlake, the top seed, comes into this game at 10-1. La Plata enters the game at 7-4. You're looking at the Westlake Bulldogs now, the blue jerseys and orange numbers. La Plata in the blue and white on the right side of the screen. The kick fielded at the 48-yard line, and La Plata will take possession there. Westlake enters the finals coming off a 34-6 victory over Waldorf. La Plata beat Indian Head 12-6 to reach the finals. And in the 85-pound division, Westlake was 9-1. The next closest team was La Plata. Well, three teams actually tied at 6-4. So Westlake clearly the class of the division during the regular season. We'll see how they do here in this President's Cup final. La Plata with the ball just shy of midfield, keeps it on the ground on first down, and not much doing there. On the carry, Steven Smith. Give him a gain of 1. No huddle here for the Blue Knights. Second down and 9. La Plata going out of the shotgun. Bradley Hardus with the pass to Smith. It's complete. Knocked down just shy of the first down. Defensively, Brian Malloy makes the tackle for the Westlake Bulldogs. So third down and 1 for La Plata. Go down the rosters for both teams here for you. Make sure we get everybody's names in. The head coach for the La Plata Blue Knights is Jimmy Dunn. His assistants, Jack O'Grady, Kevin Smith, Mike Williams, Shane McGuigan, and Bob Hardos. La Plata facing third down and 1. Quick snap, they dive ahead for a first down. Quarterback keeper Bradley Hardus took it himself. Half the line didn't even move, they didn't need to. First down for La Plata. Look inside the Westlake defensive huddle. First drive of the ball game, and La Plata's taking it inside Westlake's 40, now starting at the 39, first and 10. Pitch coming near side. Philip Miles. 4 players involved on that tackle. Cassius Sendish, one of them for Westlake. See also Joshua Alexander in there defensively. Let's go ahead and go down the La Plata Blue Knights roster. Number 1, Philip Miles. Number 4, Bradley Hardos. Number 7, Steven Smith. 10, Mitchell Buccelli. 12, Troy Niebauer. 17, Logan Sager. 21, Keith Higgins. We'll get back to the rest of their roster in just a second as Hardos drops back in shotgun formation again. Throws the pass complete. Wide open receiver. Looked like Sager. Nope, sorry, got the wrong number. Adam Josen, number 22 on the reception. Heads back into the La Plata huddle, and they're ready to roll again. 3rd and 2, just outside the 30-yard line. 3 backs behind Hardus. Hands off to the up back, breaking tackles, Steven Smith. He's got the La Plata first down. Continue with the roster here. Not sure where I left off. 21, Keith Higgins. 22, Adam Josen. 24, Kevin Farley. 26, TJ Richardson. 28, Mark Dunn. 32, James Neal. 33, Dylan Higgins. These are the La Plata Blue Knights. We'll continue in a moment. Handoff again to Smith. Stacked up this time. 38, Ernest Sally. 44, Matt O'Grady. 51, Anthony Chase. 56, Matt Edgar. 57, Aaron Mulvin. 68, John Borman. 72, Troy Calvert. 76, Seth Nagel. And 86, Trammell Dorsey, the 2003 President's Cup finalists from the La Plata Blue Knights. I formation in the backfield. Hardus back to pass. Again, a wide open receiver. Kevin Farley heading far side. Touchdown, La Plata. Hardus to Farley, and La Plata jumps on top 6-0. Doesn't look much like a 6-4 team after the first drive of the ball game, does it? Make a note here, give me a second. Hardos to Farley on the touchdown pass. I formation as they go for one here on the extra point. Hardos hands it off to the tailback. Miles surges ahead and he's in, and it's 7-0 La Plata. That touchdown pass, I'm doing a terrible job watching my yard lines here. We'll call it about 20 yards. Hardos to Farley, and it's La Plata jumping on top of the Westlake Bulldogs 7-0. We're back with more from White Plains in a moment. Welcome back to White Plains Regional Park. The La Plata Blue Knights have jumped on top of the Westlake Bulldogs 7-0, scoring on their first possession of the ball game. Westlake now gets their first opportunity. Line drive kick fielded by Darren Chase at the 31-yard line. Chase running across the field, making tacklers miss. He's out to midfield, 45-40. Got a blocker in front, makes the blocks, brings him to the 10, 5, squirts through everybody, touchdown Westlake Bulldogs. It didn't take him long to answer. Darren Chase, 69-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. And I haven't even gotten to mention everybody on the Westlake roster yet. Chase electrifies the crowd on the far sidelines. And it's now 7-6 La Plata. Darren Chase made some nifty moves, got some great blocking, one especially down around the 15-yard line that really sprung him. He's in the backfield now as Westlake will attempt the extra point, but a flag flies prior to the start of the play. Like La Plata maybe had too many men on the field. Our officials for this ball game: Dennis Artman, Earl Marcel, Carlton Courtney, and Ron Brashler. That penalty was against Westlake, and it's Chase on the carry, scoots around the corner, and he's in for the extra point. Very quickly, Westlake answers and ties it up. Our score here early in the first quarter: La Plata 7, Westlake 7. You're watching the 85-pound final from White Plains Regional Park. More in a moment. We're back at White Plains Regional Park. I'm Matt Vollen, joined by Brian Donahue, Ryan Caleb, Andy Seeger, bringing you all of the sights and sounds of the Charles County Youth Football League President's Cup. Westlake, Darren Chase just scored to tie this game up. A flag on the return by La Plata. Ball's on the ground, recovered by the Blue Knights. Let's see what the flag's all about. Danny Dempsey handling the kickoff duties for the Bulldogs. The officials discussing it. While they do that, we'll tell you the winner of the 85-pound championship the last 3 years, the Westlake Bulldogs. Looked like penalty against the La Plata Blue Knights. The score in last year's final, 25-0 Westlake. In 2001, they beat St. Charles 12-6, and in 2000, they beat Western Charles 7-6. Those are as far back as my records go, so we know that at least Westlake is looking to four-peat should they win the 85-pound championship here today. Penalty against La Plata backs him up to the 32-yard line. Shotgun formation for La Plata. Hardos takes the snap. They set up the screen. The pass is complete. Blockers out in front. Adam Josen making the reception, takes it out to midfield. Good looking play there by La Plata. Adam, 12 years old, goes to Pickawaxen, connects with Hardos again. His second reception here in the first quarter. And La Plata's moved it out close to midfield. We've got a timeout on the field. We'll take a break. We'll be back with more of the 85-pound final from White Plains in a moment. First and 10, La Plata at midfield. Philip Miles on the carry. Hit by just about every Westlake Bulldog and knocked out of bounds. The last one there defensively, Darren Chase on the tackle. Let's go ahead and go down the Westlake Bulldog roster. Number 1, Danny Dempsey. 2, Darren Chase. 3, Cassius Sendish. 4, Brandon Yates. 5, Joshua Alexander. 7, Wesley Mitchell. 8, Brian Malloy. 21, Charles Graham. 24, Desmond Betts. Get back to the Westlake Bulldogs in just a moment. I formation behind quarterback Bradley Hardos. Play action, Josen in there, made a nice block. Hardos had time, completed the pass, got it back to the original line of scrimmage. Kevin Farley making the reception. Nice play, but still brings up 3rd down and 10 for La Plata. Back to the Bulldogs roster. 32, R.J. Oliver Jr. 33, Mark Watkins. 34, Tyrone White. 35, Greg Schwartz. 42, Stephen Blankenship. 44, C.J. Callaway. 45, Dylan Wilson. 52, Devrin Boyd. Back with more in just a minute. 3rd down and 9, La Plata. Hardos, some confusion there. Looked to hand off, and there was nobody home. Let's see here who's there defensively for Westlake. 3 and 5, Cassius Sendis, Joshua Alexander. One other Bulldog there defensively as well. Let's see, back to the roster here. 52, did him already. 55, Lucas Herr. 56, Bradley Baggerly. And I'll have to stop again. 4th down and 14, La Plata's going to punt. 2 back deep for Westlake. High snap, fake punt. Throw from Hardos is caught short of the 1st down. Good diving catch by Kevin Farley. He'll be about a yard shy of the 1st down, though, and Westlake will take it over on downs at their 42-yard line. Finishing up the Bulldog roster, 60, William Coughlin. 62, Dominique Pratt. 64, Aaron Perkins. 67, Nicholas Hauser. 68, Brandon Turriff. 70, Robert Tipton Jr. 72, Brian Simon. 77, Ryan Reuter. 80, Reginald Thompson. 81, Creighton Alton. And 99, Jason Rotwich. Your 2003 85-pound Westlake Bulldogs. The head coaches. The head coach is Jack Dempsey. Other coaches here, Greg Lusby, John Pelliccia, Sam Betts. The team mom is Diane Schwartz. You saw each team switch sides there. We're now in the 2nd quarter. Westlake on the carry. Darren Chase takes it out close to midfield. The score tied here, 7-7. It was Hardos to Farley to get us started for La Plata. And it was Darren Chase with a 69-yard kickoff return to tie it up. We're tied at 7 here in the 2nd quarter. One wide to the near side. It's a handoff. One of the Blue Knights charging up the middle. If you turn right, I'll get his number here for you. Big hit defensively for La Plata. I think it's Trammell Dorsey who made the hit for the Blue Knights, number 86. Danny Dempsey, the quarterback for the Westlake Bulldogs, brings his team up to the line, facing 3rd down and 4. R.J. Oliver Jr., the wide out here to the near side, jumping on the defensive line, and they've just giving Westlake a first down. On the last play, they guessed right this time. Jumped off sides, and it's a first down for the Bulldogs at La Plata's 47-yard line. Again, Oliver wide to the near side. Wesley Mitchell on the carry. Hit by a host of Blue Knights and dropped for a loss. Call it a loss of 1, second down and 11. Mitchell, Chase, and Stephen Blankenship have been lining up in the backfield. Now Blankenship split off the line here near side. 3 wideouts on this play, but they'll keep it on the ground. The pitch to Chase. He turns the corner at midfield. Avoids a tackler, still going. Over the 40 at the 35, wrapped up and knocked down at the 31-yard line. Chase with the carry. James Neal in there defensively, along with Ernest Sally making the tackle, but it's a first down for the Bulldogs. These two teams met twice earlier this year. Westlake coming out on top both times, winning the first game 7-0. Winning the second game, played just 2 weeks ago, 14-7. So they've both been close ball games, and a close one here, tied at 7 here in the second quarter. Dempsey hands to Chase, going nowhere. He'll lose yardage on that one. TJ Richardson, Stephen Smith, Mitchell Bocelli all in there on the tackle for La Plata. Call it a loss of 2, second down and 12. Dempsey brings the play in from the Westlake sidelines. Sun's starting to dip down behind the trees behind us here on the visiting bleachers at White Plains Regional Park. Penalty on Westlake. You saw Dempsey just stop. He knew it was going to be a penalty against the Bulldogs, and boy, Chase might have wished he'd have stopped too. He got clobbered at the end of that play. The Blue Knights think the ball was fumbled and they recovered. Let's see. Discussions going on, flags all over the field. Well, the penalty is against the Bulldogs, apparently no fumble. Illegal motion, as you saw 2 or 3 people moving towards the line before the ball was snapped, so second down and 17 for Westlake. Second quarter action here from White Plains Regional Park. You're watching the 85-pound finals, the Westlake Bulldogs against the La Plata Blue Knights. I'm Matt Volland. Thank you for joining us for this broadcast of youth football. This is game 5 of 7. Chase being chased and knocked down for no gain. TJ Richardson, Aaron Mulvin there defensively for La Plata. Third and about 18 now for Westlake. Chase alone in the backfield, 3 wideouts for the Bulldogs. Dempsey pitches to Chase, almost fumbled that. It was going to be a double handoff. Now Chase throws it, and they're calling it an incomplete pass. Wesley Mitchell, the intended receiver, I guess. Chase and Mitchell were going to do a double handoff, but Chase was spun around, threw the ball, and that'll be called an incomplete pass. So 4th and 18 for Westlake. Full house backfield, one wide out to the near side. 4th down and 18 Bulldogs. Mitchell on the carry, turns the corner back to the original line of scrimmage, but no further. Knocked down there, turnover on downs, and the La Plata Blue Knights defense is held. So La Plata takes over, 1st and 10 from their 29-yard line. 7-7 our score. We got off to a quick start. La Plata took the opening possession right down the field. Hardos to Farley. A 20-yard touchdown made it 7-0, and then on the ensuing kickoff, Chase returned it 69 yards. We're tied at 7. Been a little bit of a struggle since then, but some trickery here. It's a pass thrown back to Steven Smith. He makes the reception for a 7-yard gain on 1st down. Call that 8 yards, 2nd down and 2 for La Plata. Hardos, the quarterback, 3 backs. Now 2 as one heads out far side. And nothing doing there. The middle of that Westlake Bulldog defense drives the running back back for a loss on the play. Loss of a yard to bring up 3rd down and 3. The La Plata Blue Knights cheerleaders, their coaches, Sherry Hall and Robin Welch, will have all the cheerleaders' names for you during this broadcast. Coming from the slot far side, Philip Miles on the carry. Wrapped up immediately and driven back. So it's 4th down for La Plata. No gain on that one. As the sun drops, the temperature's starting to drop a little bit here, getting a little chilly in White Plains. I think we're nearing the 3 o'clock hour. Hardos back to punt, does punt this one back deep for Westlake. Brandon Yates lets it roll, and it rolls down and out of bounds at the 32-yard line. With your quarterback also being your punter, it's hard to believe it's going to be a punt every time. He got that one away, took a good La Plata roll, and Westlake has it 1st and 10 at the 32. We'll step aside for just a moment. Be back with more from White Plains after this. Westlake with the ball, 1st down from their 32-yard line. Chase on the carry again, knocked out of bounds. Aaron Mulvin on the tackle for La Plata. Gain of 3 brings up 2nd down and 7. 7-7 our score here in the 2nd quarter. Suddenly it's turned into a defensive struggle. Danny Dempsey up under center. Hands it off. Chase dragging people with him close to a Westlake 1st down. Hanging on to the ankles there looked like Dylan Higgins, number 33 for La Plata. Chase brought down just shy of the 1st down marker, call it 3rd and a short 1. Timeout. It's the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes left here in the 1st half. Remember, at under 2 minutes in each half, the clock stops. Does not run continuously anymore. Stops on out of bounds plays. 1st down carry by Chase. So Westlake has it 1st down at their 45-yard line. 2 minutes to go 55 yards. Take the lead here in the 1st half. Dempsey gets the signals from the sidelines into the Westlake huddle. See the setter, William Coughlin, breaks out first all the time. He's ready to roll. Here comes the rest of the team. Stephen Blankenship in the backfield. Now in the slot near side. I formation behind Dempsey. Pitches back to Mitchell. Mitchell forced outside. Nice defensive play there. Number 26, T.J. Richardson for the Plata Blue Knights. Strung the play out, stayed with it, and made the tackle. A loss of 3 on the play. Second down and 13, back at the 42-yard line. The La Plata defense awaiting the offense. Here they come up to the ball. Blankenship, Chase, and Mitchell all in the backfield behind Dempsey. One wide out here to the near side. That gives to Mitchell. Hit immediately as he got it, but he broke free. It's a foot race now at the 30, brought down at the 25-yard line. Touchdown saving tackle by Ernest Sally for La Plata. And Westlake immediately calls a timeout. La Plata tried to call one, but Westlake already had it. We've got a break in the action. We'll be back with more from White Plains Regional Park in just a minute. Westlake with the ball, 1st and 10 from La Plata's 26-yard line. Under 2 minutes left here in the first half. Westlake trying to punch it in, but nothing doing there. It was Mark Dunn forcing the play outside. T.J. Richardson, one of those defensively, helping to bring down Mitchell. And a loss on the play to 2nd and about 14 from the 29-yard line. You're watching Game 5 of 7 games being broadcast today. It's the Charles County Youth Football League President's Cup Tournament. In the previous 4 games in the ankle biter division, Waldorf knocked off St. Charles White 6-0. The Middle School Unlimited, the champion Westlake, beat St. Charles 19-0. 115-pound division, the champion Waldorf beating Indian Head 30-12. And in the 95-pound division, it was Waldorf over Westlake, 28-12. Our score here in the 85-pound division, tied at 7 between the La Plata Blue Knights and the Westlake Bulldogs. Second down and 14, Westlake. Mitchell alone in the backfield. Dempsey back to pass, throws it up, underthrown and intercepted. Dempsey got whacked as he let the ball go. T.J. Richardson defensively there, making the hit on the quarterback. Pass almost intercepted, broken up by Anthony Chase for La Plata. So 3rd down and 14. Here's a look at the La Plata Blue Knights defense, trying to hold off Westlake as they make a charge here towards the end of the first half. Blankenship, Mitchell, and Chase all in the backfield. One wide out here to the near side. That's R.J. Oliver. To give to Mitchell. A convoy in front, but it did no good. Ernest Sally dived through all the blockers, made the tackle, another big loss. Call it 4th and 17 now for Westlake. Going no huddle as time ticks down. Player running in from the sidelines. Gets set, and they can't get the play off before the end of the half. So the La Plata Blue Knights defense came up with some big stops here late in the first half to keep this score tied. At the half, it's Westlake 7, La Plata 7. We've got more from White Plains Regional Park coming up in a moment. Welcome back to White Plains Regional Park. Getting set to start the second half of the 85-pound final between the Westlake Bulldogs and the La Plata Blue Knights. Our score as we start the second half, 7-7. Bradley Hardis hooked up with Kevin Farley from 20 yards out to give La Plata the 7-0 lead. Bouncing ball touched by Westlake. La Plata's recovered. Here the kick of the second half. Waiting for the official indication, and it is La Plata Blue Knight football. Looks like Matt Edgar getting up off the bottom of the pile, recovering the fumble for La Plata. So a great start for the Blue Knights to start this second half. Just to recap the scoring, it was 7-0 La Plata on the ensuing kickoff. Darren Chase for Westlake ran it back 69 yards. The extra point good. And we're tied at 7. That's where we stand now as we start the second half. Hardis back to pass under pressure. Eludes 2 tacklers, but finally goes down. For Westlake, Brian Malloy and C.J. Calloway put an end to Hardis' escape, and he's sacked, making it 2nd down and 22. The ball back at La Plata's 48-yard line. Hardis with the pitch, double handoff. Philip Miles has it at the 42, hit, and he's gonna lose yardage. Keeps escaping, finally knocked down at the 41-yard line. A loss of 8 on that play. Just about every Bulldog in on that tackle, so all the benefit they got from recovering the kick to start the third quarter is pretty much gone. They're backed up to their 41-yard line now. 3rd down, and they have to get to Westlake's 29 for a first down. So 3rd and 30. Let's see, what play do you call on 3rd and 30? First, shotgun formation. 3 wideouts for La Plata. Hardis back at his 32-yard line. Reels in the snap, throws it downfield looking for Josen. Josen turned around and cannot make the catch there defensively. Brian Malloy for Westlake. So 4th and 30, and I think I know the play call here. Wesley Mitchell also there defensively for the Bulldogs. Again, this is the 3rd meeting between these two teams. Westlake won the 2 previous meetings, but they were both close games, 7-0 and 14-7. Hardis back at his 32-yard line, presumably to punt. Low snap, he reels it in, gets the kick away under pressure, and what a kick it is. Bounces at the 30, takes a La Plata roll down to the 22-yard line. Nice punt by Bradley Hardis, getting La Plata out of trouble, and Westlake has it 1st and 10 at the 22, but there might be a flag down. Let's wait and see. Penalty against Westlake and against La Plata, so offsetting personal foul penalties. And the ball will remain at the 22-yard line. Westlake Bulldogs finally, after receiving the opening kick and fumbling that away, will get their first offensive possession of the second half. Danny Dempsey, the Westlake quarterback, Darren Chase, Wesley Mitchell, Stephen Blankenship, seeing a lot of action in the backfield. R.J. Oliver, the wide out here to the near side. Handoff to Mitchell, stacked up, hit, still on his feet, finally goes down. Give him a 2-yard gain up off the bottom of the pile. Matt Edgar, Trammell Dorsey, 2 of the La Plata Blue Knights in on that tackle. These guys might be 85 pounds, but they're throwing all of that weight into these tackles, and Wesley, surprisingly no worse for the wear as he heads back to the huddle. Comes back out, gets a little pat on the head, we're ready to go. Wesley comes as a wideout with Blankenship to the near side, but they're out there to block for Darren Chase. But nobody blocked. Let me get his number first as Chase dropped for a loss. The first player in there, Aaron Mulvin, forced the play outside, and then just about the rest of the La Plata defense closed in and dropped Chase for a loss. 3rd down and 8 now for the Bulldogs. The La Plata Blue Knights defense, if they can hold here, they should come out of this with fairly good field position. The ball now at Westlake's 25-yard line. Again, you see the setter, William Coughlin, coming up to the ball. Here comes the rest of the team. Chase alone in the backfield. Blankenship and Mitchell wide to the near side, one wide out to the far side. Chase, the double handoff with Mitchell. Hardus, number 4, wasn't fooled at all. Huge loss on the play, dropping Westlake back to their 18-yard line. Big defensive play by the La Plata Blue Knights, and it's 4th down and 16. Just double checking my numbers. The La Plata Blue Knights have blue numbers with white in them. It's kind of hard to pick it up sometimes. I believe that was Hardus on the tackle. And Westlake is going for it. Chase takes the snap, brought down at the 22, and the Bulldogs have turned it over on downs. So the defense has given the offense excellent field position, the short field. They'll start 1st and 10 at the Westlake 22-yard line. So now it's up to the Bulldog defense to hold here. Take a look at the Bulldogs coming up to the huddle. C.J. Callaway, Greg Schwartz among those assigned the job of stopping this Blue Knights offense. Movement on the defensive line. Handoff to the up back Smith, not going anywhere on that play. Greg Schwartz credited with the tackle. No gain on the play, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Bradley Baggerly, Ryan Roeder up there on that defensive line. Hardus out of the shotgun, directing traffic in the backfield. Adam Josen stands next to him, 2 wide outs to the far side. The pass intended for Josen, and he caught it. One-handed catch, makes a spin move. He may have gotten a yard. Nope, he lost a yard. 3rd down and 11. Looked like an incompletion when it left Hardus's hand. Josen stuck out one hand, pulled it in, but was dropped for a loss. So 3rd down and 11 from the 23-yard line. Let's keep our eye on Josen. He split wide here to the near side along with Smith and Miles. Hardus keeps it himself, breaks a tackle at the 20, takes it down to about the 17-yard line. But that'll bring up 4th down for the Blue Knights. Joshua Alexander, C.J. Callaway there defensively for the Bulldogs, along with Bradley Baggerly. So 4th and 5. Josen just off the line to the left side. Hardus back to pass, throws to the right side, complete down to the 10, and that's enough for a 1st down. Kevin Farley with the reception. And it's a 1st down for the La Plata Blue Knights, just outside Westlake's 10-yard line. So they can get a 1st down without scoring. Tied at 7 here in the 3rd quarter. You're watching the 85-pound final here from the Charles County Youth Football League. La Plata and Westlake all knotted up. Hardus up under center. They fake the double handoff. I think that's Josen with the ball. And it is. Came from the wing on the far side. Faked the handoff, kept it himself, but wrapped up, knocked out of bounds. Let's see who's there defensively. Not sure if that's 55 or 56. 56 Bradley Baggerly, 55 Lucas Herr. Also over there Joshua Alexander for the Bulldogs defense. Short gain. Brings up second down for the Blue Knights. Smith alone in the backfield. Movement on the defensive line and the offensive line as well. So let's see who the call's on. Penalty against La Plata. Somebody jumped on the offensive line, so back them up 5 yards. A big penalty with yards so hard to come by here. We've seen this a lot today. Teams get down close, and either the other defense stiffens or they just make mistakes that push them back and stall their drives. We'll see how La Plata handles that penalty. A high snap out of the shotgun. Hardus looking left, throws it incomplete. Had a receiver over there. I believe it was intended. Again, the Blue Knights numbers, I apologize, are hard to pick up. Seth Nagel, I think, was the intended receiver. Ball overthrown, and that brings up third down at about 14. I formation behind Hardus, back to pass. Tucks it under, now decides he's gonna throw it. Almost intercepted, broken up there by Mitchell. Wesley Mitchell reached in. Farley was the intended receiver. Mitchell poked it away, and it brings up fourth down and 14. The ball at the 15-yard line. And La Plata will go for it. If they don't get it, they'll put Westlake still, their backs against the goal line when they take over. But let's see what happens first. Hardus up under center. I formation behind him. Pitches it. Looks like they're going to pass, try to throw it back to Hardus. The pass is picked off by Cassius Sendish. A little trickery by the Blue Knights, doesn't work. The pass floated, Sendish stood there and just like a receiver, like he was the intended receiver, caught the pass and thwarted the drive. And that's the end of the third quarter. We enter the fourth quarter, all tied at 7. The 85-pound final between the La Plata Blue Knights and the Westlake Bulldogs continues in a moment. Welcome back to White Plains Regional Park. I'm Matt Bolland, bringing you the finals of the 85-pound division here in the Charles County Youth Football League. The La Plata Blue Knights 7, the Westlake Bulldogs 7. Westlake's just intercepted a pass. Cassius Sendish picking it off to thwart a La Plata drive, and now they've got it 1st and 10 from their own 15-yard line. Handoff to Darren Chase, tripped up immediately. Trammell Dorsey there defensively for the Blue Knights. This might be a little bit premature, but let's talk about overtime. Overtime is run the same way here in youth football as it is in high school, and I guess in college they will mark the ball down. Now I can't find it when I want to talk about it. And each team will get 4 plays to try to score, and they will continue that till one team scores and one team doesn't. But we've still got the rest of the fourth quarter left here. Ball on the ground. Westlake fumbles the exchange, and La Plata's recovered. James Neal, 32, heading toward the La Plata sidelines, and the Blue Knights back in business at the Bulldog 15. Good surge by the La Plata defense, a mix-up on the exchange, and the Blue Knights have it right back. Miles, Josen, and Smith all in the backfield. Hardus gave some instruction before he started the play. Hands off to Miles. wrapped up in the backfield and going nowhere. Defensively, Brian Malloy and Mark Watkins for the Westlake Bulldogs. A loss of 3 on the play. 2nd down and 13. Hardest now in shotgun formation, a good 6 yards behind the center. 3 wide outs, 2 to each side. Hardest takes it and runs it up the middle. Tripped up, knocked down at the 11-yard line. Knifing through there, Danny Dempsey hit Hardest on the leg and started his descent. Brings up 3rd down and 9. Good look at the Bulldog defense. Joshua Alexander, number 5, Dempsey, number 1, making that last defensive hit. 44, CJ Calloway, 56, Bradley Baggerly. They've been tested, but they've held here in the second half. Asked to do it again on 3rd down and 9. Shotgun formation. This time to the pass. Pass caught and then dropped. Steven Smith, the intended receiver, over there defensively. Cassius Sendishin was tangled up with Adam Josen, and I think Smith just kind of lost track of the ball there. Falls incomplete and brings up 4th down, and La Plata wants to talk this one over. Tied at 7 between La Plata and Westlake. You're watching the 85-pound division final. We'll be back with more in a moment. As we get back to action, the La Plata Blue Knights lining up for a field goal attempt. Bradley Hardest standing back at his 23-yard line, and Westlake calls timeout. A surprise call there, perhaps by La Plata, caught the Bulldogs out of formation. Hardest was back as if to attempt the field goal, and Westlake calls a timeout. While we have the break in the action, maybe we can get a shot of the cheerleaders here on the near sidelines. They've been nice enough to give me all the information for the La Plata Blue Knights cheerleaders, and we'd like to mention all of their names. Rebecca Callow, Amber Fiorilla, Ashley Fiorilla, Chelsea Fullerton, Jalen Hall. Those are the wrong cheerleaders. And those are the Westlake Bulldogs cheerleaders. Unfortunately, they did not give me their information. So we'll finish that up in just a second when we get the right set of cheerleaders. Back out on the field, 4th down and 9, and let's see what the call is now. Again, lined up as if to kick a field goal. This will be a 30-yard field goal if Hardest does indeed kick it. High snap, he's not going to kick it. The holder pitches it back to him, he throws it. Incomplete, the diving attempt made by Kevin Farley, and the officials saying no, it hit the ground, pass incomplete. The fans here obviously were on the La Plata sidelines. They thought it was a catch. It was close, but the official had the best view, and he said no, incomplete, and Westlake takes over on downs. Nice call, though, by the La Plata coaching staff. I don't know that many here in the crowd expected Hardest to actually kick it. He was under pressure, couldn't get a lot on the pass. It fluttered and was ruled incomplete. So the Bulldogs have it 1st and 10. And all of the action now around Westlake's 15-yard line. The ball stayed down there for quite some time. Westlake looking to Chase and Mitchell to do something out of the backfield. They give to Chase. And they're saying the ball's fumbled again, and the official says, nope, he's down. 2nd down. Short gain on the play brings up 2nd down and 9. But everybody is looking for Chase and Mitchell to get the ball. Dempsey up under center. We'll see what they come up with this time. Dempsey fakes to Chase, gives to Mitchell. And the La Plata defense all over that. Stephen Smith, one of the first in there defensively for the Blue Knights. You can see in the background one of the teams for our next game. Getting set. This one's not over yet, though, fellas. We might be headed for overtime. Tied at 7 here in the fourth quarter. Five minutes left is the indication we're getting. 5 minutes left here in the fourth quarter. Blankenship in motion out of the backfield. The pitch to Mitchell. A convoy of blockers out there. Mitchell grabbed by the ankle and brought down at the 19-yard line. And Mitchell upset about something after the tackle. Trammell Dorsey makes the tackle for La Plata. Looks like as Dorsey rolled over, he maybe twisted Mitchell's ankle. He was obviously upset. See Mitchell as he walks off the field. Now the officials conferring. So it's 4th down and 4. Fourth down and 4 for Westlake. Dempsey up under center. Chase behind him. La Plata guessing on the snap count. And well, let's see. La Plata thinks it's on Westlake, so let's just wait and see. Offsides, La Plata. And that gives the Westlake Bulldogs a first down. So La Plata guessing on the snap count, guessed wrong. That's at least the second time they've done that today. And that gives the Bulldogs a little breathing room. 1st and 10 from their 25-yard line. Chase alone in the backfield. Oliver in motion to the far side. The give to Chase. He was going to head that way. Ball on the ground again. Westlake recovered. I think that's the setter up off the bottom of the pile. Nope, it's number 80, Reginald Thompson, recovering the fumble for Westlake. Could have been disastrous. The La Plata coaching staff talking to the defense, asking them to hold one more time. Get some good field position out of this as time winds down here in the fourth quarter. 2nd down and 9 for the Bulldogs. Two-minute warning. 2 minutes left here in the fourth quarter. Full house backfield, handoff, Cassius Sendish. Met by 3 La Plata Blue Knights. Trammell Dorsey was 1. Matt Edgar another. And Dorsey all over the field defensively for La Plata. Brings up 3rd down and 7 for the Bulldogs. Pass thrown incomplete. Intended for Wesley Mitchell. And that brings up 4th down and 7. So what's the call here? 4th and 7, under 2 minutes. The clock stops now on that incompletion. La Plata's had tremendous field position this entire second half, but Westlake's defense has been up to this task, and I guess that's what they're thinking here. Let's go for it, and if we have to, turn it over to the defense. Chase, heading far side. Turns the corner, knocked out at the 28-yard line. Short of the first down, and La Plata takes over 1st and 10 from Westlake's 28. The crowd here on the visiting sidelines cheering on Blue Knights. They know time's winding down. Hoping for a score here in the last minute and a half of this one. Shotgun for Hardis, under pressure, steps up, throws it out. Josen open, makes the catch. Big block back, springs him to the 20, down to the 15-yard line. He's hit there by Mitchell, also knocked by Desmond Betts. So Josen takes it down to the 15-yard line. Some of the Westlake Bulldogs complaining about what, I'm not sure, but it's a timeout for La Plata. With a break of the action, we'll get this all sorted out. Have some answers for you when we get back. Welcome back to White Plains Regional Park. Late in the fourth quarter, the La Plata Blue Knights have it 1st and 10 at Westlake's 17-yard line, a tie ball game, tied at 7. Westlake runs it over the, La Plata rather, runs it over the left side, immediately calls timeout. Steven Smith on the carry. In there defensively, Cassius Sendish, Brian Malloy, Mark Watkins, and some of the Bulldogs defenders. You look at the Westlake coaching staff talking to their players. It looked like when this game started, it might be 100 to 100, not 7 to 7, as La Plata came out on the first possession, took it right down the field, scored on a 20-yard pass from Hardis to Farley. The extra point was good. It was 7 to 0. On the ensuing kickoff, Darren Chase ran it back 69 yards for a touchdown. The extra point's good, and it was 7 to 7 within minutes of the start of this ball game. But since then, both defenses have stood tough. No one has scored, and that's where we remain. Tied at 7, late here, fourth quarter. Two wideouts far side, looks like Miles and maybe Josen out there as well. Smith standing in with Hardis in the backfield to provide some blocking. Chase gets past it, ball thrown up for grabs, almost intercepted. Broken up there by Brandon Yates. So on the incompletion, the clock stops. Brings up 3rd down and 8. Smith in there to protect the quarterback, but there were two Bulldogs. Couldn't block both of them. Hardis under pressure, just floated one up, and lucky it wasn't intercepted. Miles wide to the far side. Smith and Josen in the backfield in the I formation. Hardis, play action, Josen with the block, thrown out and the flat. Miles makes the catch, cuts back, heading for the goal line, dives, touchdown! La Plata Blue Knights! Philip Miles from Bradley Hardis. Hardis, I think, is still down on the field. He is, he gets up now at the 22-yard line, the crowd enjoying this one. La Plata knocking on the door the entire second half, and then they kicked it in, and Hardis walking slowly, as you see, towards the La Plata sidelines. Got leveled as he unleashed the pass. Miles with the catch, and what a move he made. 2 or 3 defenders miss. He dived in for the La Plata touchdown and a 13-7 lead. La Plata lined up to attempt the extra point. Josen and Smith, the wideouts here near side, 2 wideouts far side. Keep it on the ground, try and run it up the middle. Extra point, no good. So the score remains La Plata 13, Westlake 7. We'll step aside and have the rest of this one for you in a moment. Welcome back to White Plains Regional Park. In the closing seconds of this one, La Plata has just taken the lead, 13-7. A 15-yard pass rather from Hardis to Miles. Extra point no good, and Westlake, precious few seconds to try and score and tie this one up or ultimately win this one. the third meeting between these two teams. Westlake won the previous two. La Plata looking to win the one that gets them the President's Cup. Kickoff fielded by Blankenship. He's down immediately at the 47-yard line, and that's where Westlake has the ball. We may only get 1 or 2 plays out of this. Again, the scoreboard's not in operation. But not much time left. Westlake came into this at 10-1. La Plata at 7-4. Jimmy Dunn's La Plata Blue Knights can taste the President's Cup championship. Let's see what Westlake's got. Stoppage of play and a timeout. Jack Dempsey, the Bulldogs head coach, didn't like something, wants to talk it over. While we have this opportunity, we'll step aside as well and be back with more in a minute. The indication is there's 30 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. 30 seconds for Westlake to travel 53 yards. They trail by 6. Confusion in the backfield. Big defensive play, Miles in there for La Plata. TJ Richardson in there as well. Danny Dempsey, the quarterback, never had a chance. Huge loss there on first down. We'll keep it here during this break. Maybe we can get a shot of the La Plata cheerleaders. Go ahead, I totally forgot. We didn't finish mentioning all their names. There you go, the La Plata Blue Knights cheerleaders. Start all over again. Rebecca Callow, Amber Fiorilla, Ashley Fiorilla, Chelsea Fullerton, Jalen Hall, Kirsten Hall, Brianne Holter, Shamika Neal, Haley Patterson, Rochella Pinkney, Brittany Rye, Ryan Saunders, and Ann Zito. The 85-pound, let's see, a note here, is being supported today by some of the cheerleaders from all the other weight divisions. So there you go, the La Plata Blue Knights cheerleaders in attendance here for this 85-pound final. They've had a lot to cheer about here towards the end of this fourth quarter as their team's taken a 13-7 lead. Second at about 15. Pitch back to Chase. Chase is going to throw it downfield, intended for Blankenship, but incomplete. Miles back there defensively. Also back there for the Blue Knights, Aaron Mulvin. Blankenship had a step, the pass just a bit too far and falls incomplete. So 2 more plays for Westlake, 3rd and 14. The Bulldogs break the huddle. Chase and Mitchell behind Dempsey. One wide out to each side. The pitch to Chase. He's going to run this time. Got open field at the 50-yard line. And finally ridden out at the 42-yard line. Looked like Ernest Sally there defensively. That's the end of the game, and you see the celebration on the La Plata sidelines. The clipboards flying in the air. The Blue Knights are the 85-pound President's Cup champions. After losing twice during the regular season to Westlake, the Blue Knights pull it out in dramatic fashion. The winning score, Bradley Hardis to Philip Miles from 15 yards away, and that's the difference as La Plata 7. See both teams lining up now in midfield and getting a rousing round of applause on both sides of the field as the Westlake fans stand and applaud as well. Once again, the final score here in the 85-pound championship game, the La Plata Blue Knights 13, the Westlake 7. Stick around, more youth football actions coming up in a moment.
Today's games are brought to you in part by Circus Ice Cream, wholesale club prices without the membership fee. By AA Builders, your new construction and home improvement specialists. And by the Maryland Independent, your source for local sports, news, and community information.